Should you pay off your mortgage? Well, I think it really does depend on your financial situation, but I also think interest rates are high enough that we can finally have this conversation. With interest rates now over 6%, I'm getting a lot of calls from people asking me if they should pay off their mortgage. Now, investing and finance in general is subjective. There's no right or wrong way to do anything. You should just do whatever's best for you. But this is what I'd say. Everyone is always so focused on ROI. What is the ROI of this? What return am I getting on my money? And I fell victim to this trap as well. Like, for example, I may be able to get a 12% return in the stock market if I just take the money I would have paid off my mortgage with and put it in stocks versus a 6% return in theory if I pay off my mortgage. And just a side note, not everyone will be able to pay off their mortgage early. It depends on the terms of the loan they have and the lender that they have that loan with. But you're potentially getting a 6% better return in the stock market in this scenario. So first off, ROI isn't even a guaranteed return. It's just a forecasted or projected or basically just a good estimate of getting return, but it's not guaranteed versus the potential 6% you'd get by paying off your mortgage right now, which is guaranteed. And by the way, it may not actually be 6% either, depending on where you are in your amortization schedule. For example, on the screen here, this amortization schedule, if you take a look at it, you'll see in years 1 through whatever, the beginning years, the interest you're paying is a lot higher. And then as you get closer to the end of your schedule, the interest you're paying is a lot lower. So it's 6%, but that 6% is actually front loaded in the beginning years. But let's just say I decide to chase the higher ROI and invest my money in the stock market versus paying off my mortgage. Now, if you're like me and you own a business or you're in a career or job that's tied to your performance and you're up every night stressed out and anxious about the fact that you have a mortgage renewal coming up and it's affecting your mental capability, is it really a better ROI? Like if I wake up one morning and I'm in a terrible mood because I was up all night stressing and anxious and blah, 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 and whatever, and then a client calls me and because of that, I end up losing the client, which means I lose a sale. Imagine if that happened a couple times a year. Well, then the ROI wouldn't look so good, would it? And these are things that don't show up in statistics or ROI or whatever that people don't account for when they're investing their money. Sometimes when you make an investment, it has a mental strain on you. It's in the back of your mind, taking up space all day, sometimes ruining your mood with market fluctuations. So when you invest, it's not just about statistics or number on a piece of paper. It's also what is happening while that money is over there doing that. Is it affecting me mentally or can I just forget about it? Is it putting strain on my relationship with my significant other? Is it draining my energy? Is it making it hard to get up in the morning? Am I now inconsistent at the gym because my mood is crap and I'm sleeping in? And all of these things that you may not even realize are happening because of that definitely make that extra 6% ROI a lot less attractive in my opinion. So you can't just look at the numbers and the return, because if that money placed in a certain investment vehicle is affecting your mental capability, well, our mental capability is what allows us to perform our best and make more money. When we are at our best, we make more money, typically speaking, right? So if we're not at our best and we're stressed out and anxious because the money that should have been paying off the mortgage is now earning a 6% higher return, but if that's affecting our ability to actively make money, then it's not a very good investment. And it doesn't even have to be about making money. You know what I mean? Like if it's hurting your relationships and like I said before, you're staying up at night and all these other things, well, then it's like the ROI just isn't that great. But here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, we're all just trying to make money so we can be happier, right? Money doesn't buy happiness, but money does buy options. And options is essentially what freedom is. If you have several options to spend your day as opposed to just the one option of going to work and working that 9 to 5, that's freedom. And typically, if you're more free, that's going to make you happier. Of course, if you have freedom with no responsibility at all, that is going to do the exact opposite of make you happy. So freedom can't come without responsibility, but that's a whole nother video on its own, and I digress. But anyways, if paying off your mortgage is now providing you options, and that options is giving you freedom, and that freedom is making you happier, is that not essentially doing what we were trying to accomplish by getting money in the first place? We are getting money so we can have more options and more freedom, right? Well, if paying off your mortgage is essentially accomplishing the same thing, well, then it doesn't really seem like a bad idea, does it? So my overall answer to this is, if I was maybe a bit older and I was stressed out about my upcoming mortgage renewal and I had the means to pay it off and the lender would allow me to pay it off, I would probably pay it off right now. Remove that burden from your mind and focus on other things. Now, if you're younger or you're looking at this from strictly an ROI standpoint, there is pretty much always somewhere better you could be putting your money than your mortgage. Even in this current economy, there's individual stocks out there that are undervalued. You could take a play on crypto. Me personally, I would just invest in business. Money that's invested into a business is pretty much always going to provide the highest return that you could possibly get. I could spend $2,000 on Facebook ads. That helps me close a bunch of clients and like 100x that money. Maybe not 100x, but you get where I'm going with it. So if you're looking at this from an ROI standpoint, paying off your mortgage is never going to be the best option. But from a live your life better and be happier standpoint, if that's what it's going to do for you, then I think it's worth every penny. Please subscribe if this helped, like this video. We'll see you on the next one. I'm that Agent Kelly. I'm making moves to move you. Peace.